What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
Oh, you still on that?
Are you hating today?
I mean, I guess, but it's your girl, Dani, permanently exhausted pigeon.
Exactly. You came up with a nickname because I had a nickname. You could have just been Dani.
Yeah, but I'm actually permanently exhausted. You are neither new nor cool.
No, I am. I am cool.
Says who?
Says society, you know. You're a hater, first off.
I mean, I guess. But welcome to another episode of Lovers Quarrel. How are you, Mr. Byers?
I was doing good until you started hating, but you know. Mm-hmm. Welcome to marriage, everybody.
Ain't nobody hating over here.
I mean, listen. You gotta do what you gotta do. How are you doing?
You know, I gotta get into my elevator talk to really tell you how I'm doing. But I'm okay. I'm here. But I'm tired. I mean, exactly. But rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I mean, life, school.
Yes.
Parenting.
Yes. All the things.
Very tiring.
Anyway.
I don't know how they do it in America.
I don't appreciate you being facetious over here.
Not at all.
Anywho. So you ready for some elevator talk? You going first or you want me to go first?
You got a whole bunch on your mind, so you can...
All right.
Are we going down?
You know it. All right. Going down. So, for anybody who is in the field of education or education adjacent, this time between Thanksgiving and Christmas is so fucking miserable because...
Is it now?
Yes, because I have 8 days until Christmas break, and when I tell you the inmates are running the asylum, like...
Are you calling your students inmates?
Like, yes.
Are you spearheading the prison...
The school to prison pipeline? No, I just spoke on a panel about that just a couple of weeks ago.
And now you're calling your students
It's a
inmates?
saying.
That's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
That's a metaphor. You know
Thank
that.
you.
I'm just asking a question.
Brad went to English, clearly.
His name is Bradley.
Oh my God. So, point I'm trying to make about that is, you know, it's exhausting. Like, teacher-student relationship is probably arguably up there as one of the most like intense relationships that you can have, especially like you literally are spending like all damn day with somebody, and just like anything else, like you need a break, you need space, and we're at that time of year where like, okay, I'm like, it's ramping. I need time away from them and they need time away from me. So I'm not saying that they're running like stark raving mad, but there's just been like an upswing of like shit that in like October I would have been like never, but now it's December and I'm like, well damn, like, okay, this happened, great, gotta write a report about that. This happened, oh gosh, gotta call this parent, gotta sit down with this person, and that makes it, you know, that much more tiring. Like on top of that, and like you're fatigued, like you're tired. You're like, I'm not trying to like, not that I'm not trying to teach, but it's just like, oh Lord, I gotta come in here and like try to motivate the unmotivated right now. Like they're not motivated at this point. So as their teacher, trying to get them to like do stuff is really difficult. Which is why, like, if anybody, I guess sees my like personal page or whatever, I was doing this like physics project with them where they had to like build quote unquote roller coasters, and they were really, really, really into that, and I kind of stretched that out over a couple of days because they were into it. It required like me not to be standing in front of the classroom with them all period, and they like still were learning something, and like that's kind of the strategy I gotta take, because Lord knows it's like it's just that these 3 weeks is not for the faint of heart in education. Like people be like, oh, can I come up to your school and like volunteer? Come back in January, because right now I wouldn't even put that on nobody right now. And then like I'll be saying the same thing like the week or two before spring break, because right when we get these long breaks is right when we need them, because it's just intense. So I'm ready. And yes, like I said, the inmates are running the asylum. Like they are, because it's a crazy house. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yikes.
So they're not criminals. They're just crazy. So that's my elevator talk.
I'm gonna go up.
Going up.
Appreciate it.
What floor are you going to?
The 4th floor.
What floor do you want me to go to, Bradley?
The 44th floor.
You really gonna do that the whole show? Call me Bradley.
Hey, everybody. As you can hear, we have Brad on. But we'll
A returning guest.
introduce him again later on.
Mm-hmm.
Back up. My Lakers, 5th seed in the West, 17-10. We're going to finish top 5. So, I'm
Go
hype
Brown,
about
Brown.
that. I don't want to hear go Brown.
Why?
Nah,
Why?
nah.
I'm a LeBron fan.
Of course you are.
I've been a LeBron fan. Don't do that. Don't do that. Been a LeBron fan.
Crazy to me. What year was he drafted?
2003.
Oh, what number?
23.
No, he wasn't drafted number 23.
It was,
Oh, she talking about his jersey number.
number 1.
Are you sure?
Or
you're
number
not
2
sure.
after maybe Carmelo.
What? See, you don't even know. Thank you, world.
But
I
you know
rest my
what?
case.
She knew when he came. Like,
I knew something.
yeah, because I would have been
After Carmelo.
I remember that because I remember.
Well, who was number
being
one?
in the 11th
LeBron
grade.
was.
Okay, so then why are you trying to second guess me?
All I asked was, were you sure? You didn't seem sure.
You're a fucking hater. Continue.
I'm a hater.
Yes. Because I can be a LeBron fan.
You can, I guess. You and everybody else.
Oh my God.
That's all I have for my elevator talk. To our lovely guests.
You guys have anything that is on your spirit that you'd like to go up or go down?
You want to go up or down, Bradley?
I ain't a LeBron fan. I just haven't put anything in my
Go ahead.
Nah,
Listen.
I ain't a LeBron fan.
I like Braun. He cool.
He is. He's the best.
I'm more of a John Wall.
How would you say that?
That's
Because I like John Wall. We be up in Rosebud together.
Oh my God.
Colin Saxton destroyed him the other day.
This
Your man
about
had
to be
like
that
1
type of
point.
episode. Oh my God. Don't be trying to blow somebody's speakers.
LeBron be having
Did you
bad
like
games.
JaVale McGee too? He used to be
Isn't that
a
the
staple
one?
in DC.
Isn't that the
Oh
one
yeah,
Shaq
he used to be
make fun
cooking.
of?
Huh?
Isn't that the one Shaq used to make fun of?
Yeah.
I like McGee too. I still like him.
He's a Laker.
Yeah, he a Laker now.
I know
still
he's a
like
Laker.
McGee.
Just had to make sure you knew.
Moving right along.
I'll
Nope.
go up.
Okay,
Thank you,
There you
Brandon.
go.
All right.
Going up, Brandon.
So I'm going up because we have a whole season 2 of a web series coming out next week.
Yes, y'all do.
Bad web series.
Woo woo.
We'll talk about it later, but I'm excited for that. I've been doing this for a while, so glad to see I'm still at it. Glad to have these guys with me on the journey. We'll see what happens.
And we are happy to celebrate that with you.
Y'all hear more about that.
Brad, not Bradley. Don't call him if he doesn't want to be called Bradley. But do you have anything that you want to speak to?
Not in particular. Just ready to get into the show.
All right.
All right, well, we can go to our relationship tip.
So with that being said,
I'm going to start it off this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So me and Danny was beefing, been beefing, right?
What else is new?
And my tip is when you and your partner's beefing, y'all should find something competitive so you can bust their ass. That's my tip.
So what would you like to lose in?
I mean, we can play Uno. You don't want to see me in chess. You don't want to see me in the video games.
I mean, you do practice a lot.
Connect Four.
That's a good way to
shots.
blow that steam off.
Shots.
You are a better chess player than me. I will give you that.
I know that.
Absolutely.
Hands
Y'all should
down.
play Phase 10.
And Connect Four.
Connect Four, I feel like we're a little bit more evenly matched.
I'll be fucking her up with that too.
You're a fucking liar.
My mama used to
You're
bust
I
my
beat
ass
you
in
more times
Connect
in Connect
Four.
Four than I ever beat you in chess.
I mean, you've never beat me in chess, so.
And then the one time I almost
So
did.
that's
You
just.
know what you did?
Listen,
You cheated.
I didn't cheat. You was taking way too long.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Well, going forward, whenever we play chess, I'll make sure we have a timer, so that way you can't sit there and. Because real chess players use a timer. They
And
don't be like,
Who
let
are
me
the two
take
of us are
15
real chess
minutes.
players?
Oh, you one of those?
Exactly.
Against her, yes.
Exactly.
But like, other than that though, are you one of those?
I mean,
You one of them dudes that you see
When I was a
playing in
part
the
of
park?
the-
You used to play in the park
Basically.
when you lived in New York?
This nigga's
I was in
an
the
old,
chess club.
he an old nigga named
You was in the chess
Chester.
club? Respect.
So,
You moving that piece back.
so listen. When you're beefing with your significant other, you find something that you can beat their ass in, right? Just find any game and you just go ham on them, and then you talk shit the whole time.
Because that's going to make things better.
Oh, it makes me feel better. Playing Uno, like, draw 4, take that shit. You know what I mean? You gotta, you know what I mean? I feel better just doing that. I feel so much, like, calm now.
Okay.
So that's my tip.
So after we record this episode, we're gonna play something competitive.
Sure. So I can bust your ass.
I wouldn't speak too confidently about that. We could play Trivial Pursuit. We could play Jeopardy. Because when we come to,
Y'all
knowing
should play
things-
hide and go seek.
Man, they going to sleep after that.
She's going to sleep. I'm going to be up.
I just might. Fuck that. I work hard. Like, sleep is a luxury.
We'll schedule for Saturday?
Huh?
Saturday? Want to schedule?
Sure.
All right.
Fine.
Can we have your tip for the week?
Don't rush me, nigga. Alright. Excuse me.
Damn, bro.
Listen, yeah, we putting the quarrel and Lovers Quarrel today. Alright, so my relationship tip for the week is always a little bit more nuanced than this caveman over here. In relationships, also, like I always say, in friendships, whatever type of ships you got, sometimes you gotta tell, don't ask. And so what do I mean by that is a lot of times in life, and I want to say that sometimes I feel like women are more groomed to do this, which is we like seek permission and we'll like ask permission for things, or even if it's not explicit, like, can I, like, I'm a grown woman, I'm not going to necessarily like say like ask for permission from TJ or certain things, but I know that I will say things, or I will go about wording things to make sure that like he's okay with what I'm about to do or what I want to do.
Like what?
Like if I say, hey, I'm thinking about going to my school's holiday party on Friday. I'm like saying that to like make sure like if you're okay with either like keeping Tatum or that you have no. I'm like checking in with you to make sure that like you don't have anything planned and stuff like that, as opposed to me saying like my school's holiday party is Friday. I'm going. So there's a difference between quote unquote asking and versus telling. But sometimes in a relationship or any type of shit, you just gotta tell a person. You have to be like, I'm doing this. I'm letting you know as a courtesy, but I'm not necessarily like asking you whether or not you care, you're interested, you want to come. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling you what it is. So I know I'm guilty of that sometimes, where I sometimes seek to make sure that like TJ's cool with something. But sometimes I just need to, I and other people too need to just be like, no, this is what it is, and that's that. Because I will say this, I feel like in life, and even professional relationships, I feel like we're sitting at a table with people who work in all different fields, who also explore all different like outlets outside of their like their 9 to 5, and there's people in all of those areas that like will tell you what they about to do and not ask you shit. And be like, this is what it is, and I'm going to do it. If you have a problem with it, we can talk about it, but I'm not going to seek permission.
I don't feel like you asked me about your party, so.
She actually asking. She'd be more like telling you.
Yeah, she told me. She's saying.
Sometimes you got to tell.
Whatever.
Don't ask. That's what I started with.
Yeah, but then you was kind of like prefacing like, typically I ask, and I'm like, nah, you don't. You didn't ask me.
No, and
I'm
not asking. I don't.
He was like Friday is whatever.
No, what I'm saying.
It's like letting you know.
Yeah, like it's letting you know. But
communicating.
But like what I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make, and maybe you guys don't. Maybe as
she didn't hear it.
Men, I heard you. I'm ignoring you.
Okay.
But maybe as men, and because I'm the only woman at the table right now. I think women sometimes are, like I said, we are conditioned, whatever, to like seek approval. I won't say even like permission, but just like I guess like approval. Like, okay, cool, like this and that. And if it's pushback, then it's like, all right, well I have to work around it. And maybe it's just me, or maybe it's people like me. But I know that sometimes when I verbalize things, and not just to TJ, to other people in my life, family, friends, sometimes I say it in a way to make sure somebody's cool with it. And I think that like the older we get, the more mature we get, the more comfortable we get, you have to be like, no, sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm telling you just as like a heads up, but that's where it ends.
Right.
Like I'm not looking for your approval, I'm not looking for feedback on whether or not what you think about what I'm doing.
I totally get what you're saying. And a lot of times it's not really about asking, but before you convey the message in your mind, you're trying to get the perfect sentence structure and tone
Absolutely.
to give to this person when you're telling them whatever it is you're about to do. Instead of just being more assertive and saying, hey, I'm going to do this. Because me personally, that's something that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm saying something to somebody and I stutter, it's because I'm thinking too hard about what I'm about to say instead of just saying whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I get
Guilty.
it. Yeah.
Guilty.
So good for y'all.
See, and this asshole right here.
What? I'm saying it's good for y'all.
You,
I don't. No, I
you
don't
That's
ask.
not your ministry. You,
So you don't do this? You don't be like this. Hey, yo, Danny, I'm about to go to the gym and hoop. You don't say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's communicating, letting her know. You telling her. She's not about to be like.
Yeah.
you're
I'm not
asking
saying
her
hey.
permission.
I'm not saying hey, Danny. Can I go?
No,
there?
you're
Yeah,
just
he's-
letting her know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they're learning
What
that.
we're describing.
So
so,
I'm saying-
so that's the thing. Though,
So I'm
like,
saying congrats to
TJ
them.
is more
TJ's
straightforward.
gonna tell you.
You know.
He's never gonna ask you.
I'm never gonna ask you.
Okay, like,
But I feel like that's not an ask.
it's not
if
an
I'm
ask.
like,
So like, okay, the gym, right?
Mhm.
So TJ said. So and obviously I don't hoop, but let's just use the same sentence. TJ saying to me, I'm going to the gym to hoop, is simply to let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Me saying it to him is to be like, do you have a problem with that?
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay.
So
And you can feel it through the tone.
yeah, and so and that's what makes us different. But then
Yeah.
also it's like, I wish sometimes he would take a page from my book, and I know I need to take a page from his sometimes when it comes to stuff like that.
Can't read my book.
Listen here, man.
It's because his handwriting's terrible.
Thank you, Brad. Yes.
Nah, this my LB. We play, man.
You right. Fuck that. My handwriting is.
Fucking trash.
Right? When I need it to look presentable, it is presentable. Other than that,
When is that?
doctors, shit like that. If I got a return or something. But don't want you to read my shit now. Read my shit. Fuck out of here. You don't need to read my shit. That's why I say you can't read my shit. Anyway, that was a beautiful tip. I won.
I have a
You did
tip.
not win. Yes.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, Brad.
Go ahead.
It kind of just popped up.
Okay.
We're listening.
Oftentimes you hear people describe how initially when meeting someone or interacting with people, they feed off of their energy.
Yes.
Good friend of mine a few years ago, Dutch, I took something from him. Try not to feed off people's energy. Try to feed people your energy. Because I've learned that now when I try to feed people my energy,
Yeah.
I get a different response. And
Smart. I support that.
your day's a little different when you do that.
I support that.
Yeah.
So you're saying don't feed off of what other people do? Like,
Have them feed off of you.
Exactly. Like sometimes if you're about to interact with somebody, sometimes we have a guard up and we're observing how this person is going to act.
you should listen.
And we're going to react to how they act. So sometimes you could look at somebody, let's say you walking past somebody on the street. You look, y'all make eye contact, but you don't want to be the first to speak. So y'all both just looking crazy with your eyes and shit. If you just feed that person some energy, what's up, man? How you doing? You're going to get a good response. I do this shit in Baltimore City all the time. I ain't been robbed yet, not gonna work, because I'm out in the city. But
And it's a
you
good thing that
feed
said
people that energy,
Yeah.
and
Feed people that energy. I like that.
yeah, you're celebrated more when you're around.
So now I really win because he's my line brother. So
But Brad knew me first.
Danny gave me that pencil. when I needed it.
Exactly.
because she thought she was gonna kill her.
Because, you know, Brad was giving me energy, but he didn't follow it up.
That was before I learned about the energy.
He had
all right?
to
I
do
was,
it.
I was 18.
Energy was give me that pencil or I'm stabbing you.
Oh my God.
So she was like, "Here, please take it."
I was like, sure, you can have a pencil.
So I win. Thank you for that. You know, undefeated for like 3 weeks going.
You conceded 3 weeks ago, nigga. What are you talking about?
Nah, I don't remember that.
Good
But
thing this is recorded.
yeah,
But moving on.
you know. So
That
let's
damn
go to our
aux
sponsor,
god, though.
so that way we can,
Formally introduce these lovely gentlemen over
you
here.
know. So
With that,
go ahead. What?
I said we're going to go to our
All
sponsor.
right then.
Bye.
Getting tired of you.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor. Go to GainSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
You too can embrace the process using our code Lovers10 at GainSportsGear.com. And now, back to the show.
All right, so
You've heard the voices
the wise words,
of my man Bradley, a.k.a.
the
B-Rad.
comical relief, but we have here 3 wonderful gentlemen.
Our largest group yet.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting because we've only ever had like at least 2 guests. So let's see if we could kind of keep you, some of them, Alonzo, reeled in. And
Facts.
so, we have here 2 of our leading actors and the creator of the Bad web series show. And I want to, first, let's go from left to right. So, Alonzo Hatton is one of the actors on the show. Then you have to my center, Brandon Hairston, who's creator and director of the Bad web series. And then Brad Watson, actor on Bad web series. And I know, remind me, I know you play Tony. And what's your character's name?
Greg.
Greg?
Yeah.
That was my daddy's name. Yay. So,
Tony's a woman beater, I know that.
That was just one episode. Just work through it.
so we got this show covers all topics. You know, it's like TGIF. It's like a family sitcom. But with that being said, before we even get into that, we talked a little bit offline. So my first question is going to be like an icebreaker question now. So, gentlemen, what is, and we can all go around, what is one of your biggest phobias? Which means it could be something irrational. Doesn't have to be like death. Everybody's scared to die. But like, what's a phobia that you have?
White people. I knew it was going to give me a little cackles.
Alonzo. Oh my gosh.
It wasn't funny until he said he knew he was going to get cackled because I ain't laughed. That was mad.
Guys.
I'm going to say spiders.
Oh yeah, because I definitely kill all the bugs in this house.
Snakes.
In this family.
Fuck no.
No, I use his shoes.
I have like a phobia.
I get real with spiders, bro.
Nah.
I fight them like humans.
Nah. Like if I see them, it fucks me up. Like now that I have a daughter, I'll kill him. But before that, fuck that.
Yeah, he's such a good
You're like,
dad.
hey Danny. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
Now it's like, fuck. Can I just do this shit? Yeah, but that's just my thing.
yeah.
Go ahead. What you got?
There's this big ass spider. One time when Tatum was like 2 months old, I tore everything apart. I was like trying to find it. I'm like, I can't have this biting my baby. Mine, I'd have to say clowns.
Still afraid of clowns?
I'm not afraid so much as to say, I don't fuck with them. I don't like them. They're not funny. They are creepy. But like,
I'm gonna start wearing a clown mask.
If you want to get fucked up, sure. I like it. Like, I'm just not really keen on that. Like, I'm not gonna have like a heart attack. I'm not gonna like break down in tears. But
We're gonna watch it tonight.
No, we are not doing that.
We're definitely watching it tonight.
But yeah, clowns, I can't vibe with at all. So that's mine. What about you guys?
I can dig it.
This is a podcast.
Nah, I was
You
waiting
can
for
talk.
y'all.
I thought it was going to circle. Okay.
Oh, I mean,
Clockwise, dude.
mine basic. I would have to say like heights, roller coasters. Like,
Roller coasters?
Yeah, I don't get on no roller coasters. Like,
Really?
people be
I
like,
love roller
no, I
coasters.
don't like
Yeah,
them,
the
no. I be
Intimidator is my
trying to,
shit.
but then when I get in line and I'm about to get on, I just keep going across the thing and go to the other side to get off.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm not getting on there.
Makes sense.
I used to be like that until I saw the disappointment in my father's eyes.
Oh, I ain't care who.
So I had to change it. So I guess I'm more like him as I got older because I love roller coasters now.
Nah, fuck that.
That's all I can get on.
I
when go
don't
to the
mind
park.
them, but
I
it's
don't
just
wanna
like,
get
what if we get stuck up here?
I
Or
think
what
that
if
too. I
it's
think
not tight
that.
enough and I slip out because Nah. I'll be down here holding the bags,
He's like my mom.
checking out the women.
My mom used to always hold the purses.
Yeah, I'm
She got
holding
low
the
blood pressure. Low blood pressure, so she would faint. So
Are you laughing?
No.
you laughing at my mama? I'm gonna
No.
tell her that too. Oh my goodness.
Standing there, she was just faint.
No, like if she got on a roller coaster, like it was too much.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm a faint. When I was on the plane for the first time, Donnie tried to open the window. I was like, son, put that down. Like,
the windows don't open on a plane.
I mean,
The shade.
Oh, the shade.
You didn't want to look outside.
I know what you meant.
hey, thank you, D.
There's no air.
Yeah, I put the shade up.
Nah.
He put the shade up, and I slammed it down.
Oh,
I have anxiety on planes.
it's the lack of control. But
Yeah.
all right, so
That's when they hit that turbulence.
Turbulence.
Like, oh, shit.
Like, okay, that was fun, guys.
Right.
Let's cut it out.
Yeah.
that's when you start to realize you're like, damn, I'm really in this like a tube in the sky.
Yeah.
Brandon, what about you?
Mine is birds. It's been like that since I was like in the 4th grade.
Birds.
Yeah. All right, roller coaster. It was a bunch of them. I went to school in D.C. and once the bell rang, like it was cleared out, so all the birds decided it's time to come in front of the door.
Yeah.
And so I was late for school. My mom had a job. I don't know, but I got to school late, and there was all these birds there like staring at me, and I tried to jump at them because how the kids, you jump at them, they fly away.
Yeah.
I jumped at them. They flew towards me. And so I'm like swinging. I have my eyes closed, and I open my eyes, and I see like a wing fly across my face, and I'm yelling. Nobody came outside to help me. I was trying to go back to the car. My mom was already gone because she thought I was in the building by now. So it just stuck with me. Then I went to
That's really
so-
scary.
Oh,
You gotta add that into your series.
I went to Ocean City. I don't want to have to be that close to birds though.
But how you get the
what kind of
birds?
bird was it? Was it like
Pigeons.
You got CGI it or something.
One time that my aunt's terrified of birds, so much so that the story they used to tell me was that when my sister was like 3 and my cousin her son was like 4, they went like to have like a picnic or something, but they went to a lake and it was geese out there, and then the geese
Well,
came.
geese are mean.
And the geese are mean, they nasty. So, but the geese were coming, and my aunt got so scared that she ran to the other side of the lake, and she left my cousin. She left her son on the other side.
Listen.
And I saw her once, so she got like some pigeons flew over. We were in New York. I never seen her run that fast before or ever since that day. She just took off running
Where'd she go?
up the street.
She's gone. Like, bye, yo. I'll run home.
Oh my god!
Yikes.
All right, Brad, end it off. Don't tell me about you not scared of nothing.
Oh no, I'm scared of things. I'm scared of the basic things.
Love.
Certain things. I'm a little scared of that. When they finally find somebody, we happy and shit. 30 years later, she leave my ass.
I can't admit that.
But no, one thing, I'm not scared of this, but I just don't like it. This is random, but I'm random. Dirty tubs, dirty shower pans.
Okay.
I don't like that. Like, cleanliness is next to godliness. So I need, if I'm gonna be using your tub and stuff, I'm gonna need that to be cleaned out. Like I actually, when I visit people, I look in tubs because that says a lot about somebody.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
I have a line sister who would, I would say, clean somebody's tub before she got in. Honestly, even if it didn't look that bad, it was just her.
Yeah.
So I can understand that.
Oh, I just don't like it. I don't know. It gets to me. I know a lot of people don't mind it, but
hopefully more people do.
I've seen some dirty ass tubs, man.
Really?
And then people who use the mats,
because
people who use the mats, mildew and shit get stuck up under there. Nah.
Oh yeah, because I would say you work your line of work. You see in people's houses.
Oh yeah,
a lot. So you see a lot. Yeah, you probably have seen some shit that we ain't even. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, your friends, your family. I'm like, nah, you be in
Nah.
strangers' house.
Well, shit, friends and family too.
I mean, not to say that they don't. What I'm saying, like, you see way more than like the average person.
I've seen some things.
you sound like a fucking old ex-slave. You're like, I've
seen some things.
Wait, because you had a shower scene this season. Was my tub dirty?
No, yours was good.
Oh, okay.
You're a clean person.
So you just want to
Did you were you naked? Oh, we gotta get into that. Okay. I said you had a shower scene.
Well,
Brad?
that segue perfectly.
That was the perfect one.
What was the inspiration for Bad Web Series?
I took a lot of the lessons. I had another show before I did Bad Web Series called DC Yuppies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I took a lot of this, the lessons I learned from there And then sometimes you just watch other shows and you're like, oh, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Like, you had another shirt on in one scene, and now you walked into a different room with a completely different shirt on. Like, I mean, stuff like that. And it's all in fun, because I know being in a web series, the business, you know, you take your art, you know, seriously. And you don't like the critique. So, I took the stuff that happened to me, too, and I put it in the show, made it fun, turned it around. So that something like that the whole web series community could laugh at, rather than, you know, taking it so seriously. We can all like laugh at ourselves.
Got you.
Yeah, and I think like just so you know, for those who may not know, like bad web series, literally like the entire premise is about like making light of those like mistakes and you know, editing errors and things like that come with people who are newer to film and media, things like that, which is like you see that more often, because I've watched a couple of web series in my time too, and I think even sometimes in the store, TJ and I argue the kind of like those B movies that come on Netflix, those like B.
Them just be good.
They be good.
Yeah, see,
Danny don't get tried.
Get,
She's, you know
I can't get past like the fuck ups. I'm like, I be like, what? Like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And like, so I can't get past like.
See, when you got money, you go out with money. You feel me?
You got money.
You only
stop
want the
playing.
best. Feel me?
No, because, and I don't know if you've done this yet, but there was one. It's the best example. The one that we were watching a while ago. And there was a typo in the opening credits. Like, how do you actively like?
Was it a good movie? Is the question. Yes, it was.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah, well, it was. I don't know if it still is.
It's something with Omari Hardwick.
Roxy Diaz.
Yeah, but she was Roski in the opening credits.
So Danny was like upset about that. The whole
I couldn't get over that.
It was good though.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good premise.
It was like the love letter or something like that. The
I don't
last
remember.
letter or something like that.
Listen.
Okay, but
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna watch shit that isn't traditional, because you may find something like, otherwise you're gonna be like everybody else.
Right.
well, with that being said, you guys, you created the show, Brandon, Brad and Zoe. You guys are on the show, but what kind of pushed you or inspired you guys as far as your different roles with Bad Web Series? What pushed you into that world of like film, media, acting, entertainment? Like, what got you? What brought you to it?
So I would say for me, I'm Alonzo. I would say for me, my major at Towson University was performing arts. I've been doing performances since I was a young child. Went to high school, did performances, and I just continued it. And I had a good brother, Bradley, let me know about this web series, and I tried it out and I liked it. Had a good cast, good director, good writer. And I was like, yeah, I like this. It's my cup of tea. And yeah, so that's how I got started.
All right.
You can relax. You can be yourself.
No, I am. I'm talking to
I don't know this, Alonzo. My fault. Actually, no, this is Alonzo.
I want Zoe. This interview Zoe right here.
It all started
He trying to get the job.
It all started back when I used to do acting.
I was in performing arts as a young
my
man.
grandmother's living room. They used to be like, "So, come act." So I'll come out there and do my thing.
Oh my God.
See, I need Zoe.
Brandon or Brad, take it away.
Man, you go last. For me, I always enjoyed acting. It wasn't something that ever became like a consistent hobby. I've been in a couple plays, but when I found out Brandon was writing a web series for DC Yuppies, he needed some extras. I was an extra. I enjoyed that, so I told him if he ever needed more characters, just let me know. And that's pretty much our friendship. Yeah. That's how I was at Towson. Being friends with Brandon helps me discover that I'm good at certain things that I thought I would be good at, but I just never tried. because when he started the step team at Towson, I was one of the first guys on it because he wanted to get some more guys on there. So I was like, if I catch on fast, I'll do it.
If I catch on fast.
Me and Tower B, I caught on fast, and we stayed
Brad's
at
a
it.
beast.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so
I'm too old for that.
started with him, and then the same thing with acting. When he told me he was writing another web series, and he told me the premise of it and everything. I'm like, shit, you want me? I'm free. Just let me know. And it was something that I enjoyed. It's for me. It's more so. I enjoy doing this, so as long as I enjoy it, I'm gonna do it.
True that.
It's fun. So yeah.
For me, I kind of fell into writing. It wasn't what I majored in. It wasn't what I thought my career was going to be. I went to Towson for psychology. I didn't get into the grad school for psychology at Towson, and that kind of discouraged me from pursuing it. Instead of trying other schools, I just kind of quit right there. Got into the government, started making pretty good money, but sitting at a desk, I noticed after a couple of years wasn't my thing. I'm still there because I need money. But yeah, exactly,
Benefits.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I need a creative outlet, so I started writing short stories, and I did that, made a book. But people said the way I wrote it, they could see the characters coming to life. So I started researching how to do scripts and thinking of ideas, and that's how DC Yuppies came out. It was fun. I still enjoy it, and I'm still thinking of some ways to bring it back because a lot of people do ask about it. But I think my lane is really comedy, so I love bad web series. I love the chemistry that everybody has on set with each other. So if I did another series, I would probably make it more comedy based, even if it has more of a deeper plot than bad web series does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I am now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, quote unquote, stumble upon like their passion like that because we go to school, and y'all are listening to 5 Towson alum at this point, and like you go to school for one thing, and then you realize like that ain't
Hell
it.
no. I ain't know nothing at 18.
So
Should have waited.
Right.
But especially like around the time that like I feel like most of us graduated, like that was like the worst like economy time. So we were just like fortunate to have jobs, and then that cubicle life, or sitting at a desk is just not with it, and so. Yeah, you're right. You fall into it, and then you got to figure out like, okay, I got to do something else. So for like you guys, it's the acting, it's the writing, it's the filming, and then me, like I kind of with TJ's prodding, like got into teaching because it was like that's
Prodding. Go ahead. Dictionary term. Break it down for me.
No, you should.
I'm being so serious though.
Like you pushed me, a
Did
gentle nudge.
Okay. I don't think it was gentle.
Okay.
I think it was like a yank. A pull. But go ahead.
Moving right along. This is not about us.
I'm just asking a question.
We ended up pursuing one way or the other. Either like for me, like now I was able to make like the professional jump into what I love, but then even still, it's important to have those outlets to do that. And I even feel like for TJ, like doing this podcast thing is something that is.
You can't speak for me. But go ahead.
No, I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
This is like an outlet for him from his job because it's an opportunity for him to be this, reckless mouth individual that you see here today.
Low down scoundrel.
Exactly, just a scallywag. But
And they going in.
I know that's crazy to me.
that's because Brad and I are here. We have a
Danielle and Bradley.
Yes, we have a connection that goes beyond you guys' line.
Dandelion. Dandelion. That's your name together.
Dandelion?
Yeah. Don't ask me how. Just go with it.
My name's not even mixed into that.
Exactly.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I just thought it was funny.
But you just laughing.
Because it's dandelion.
No, it's not. This nigga over here, you gonna be cackling it up the whole episode.
No.
So here's like a little lighter question, right? So the whole purpose of Bad Web Series is to, again, make light of these errors, bad acting, all that stuff like that. And I did watch like DC Yuppies, so I know that obviously some of your actors transferred or translated over to Bad Web Series. So I know that they're capable of acting. Seriously. So it's like how difficult, and this you guys maybe Zoe and Brad can answer this a little bit better. But like how difficult is it to like purposely be bad or like act bad or like make mistakes and stuff like that. Because it's one thing if you accidentally do it. It's another thing to be like, all right, we're gonna have like, I mean, obvious stuff, yeah, but like that, those like nuanced things. Like, how difficult is it to kind of like be awful on purpose?
I'll let y'all answer that. I don't know.
You want me to start it? All right. So I'll say for us, in the show, it's subtle things that you pick up on if you're paying attention. But even for your character to do something silly or mess up, you're still acting. Mm-hmm. So you still have to play that off. So even with that, in some cases, it could be harder trying to do that. But I look at it all as just acting. When the camera's on, you make it look believable. Mm-hmm. So that's what I focus on.
All right.
I look at it as more like just having fun. Like, I just like to have fun. Like, you go in there, you don't have to like be like, okay, let me get like this for this character. You can just go ahead and be your character because you already know your character, and you just put yourself into that character, and you just go and have fun. How your character will act is how you portray on the scene, on the screens.
I feel like y'all are pretty successful at it because I rewatched the pilot and some of the second episode, and I guess you're getting what you're looking for because there was some parts where I like cringed and I was like, damn, like I was like, this is awful. Exactly. But then I'm like, but because you're in on it, it makes it funny. It's just like, whereas like some of these other shows and movies that TJ likes to watch, you just get like
she loves taking jabs.
You just get secondhand embarrassment, and I like that's the part. I legitimately get secondhand embarrassment when I see people like perform badly that don't mean to perform badly.
You don't like to see people lose any of that. Like,
I don't. That's fine.
If it was up to you, all the teams would win. Just every game would be a tie.
That's my business.
So,
but
I'm just So with bad web series, compared to DC Yuppies, was it because bad web series is more of a comedy that you was like, let me continue here, or was it like with DC Yuppies it was kind of like the chapter's closed for that moment?
Yeah, I think the chapter's closed for the moment. I won't say it's closed permanently because I'm still thinking of ways. Maybe even if it's not a web series, I'm thinking of ways to revamp it.
Got you.
Go the Issa Rae route. Take a show that was already out, Awkward Black Girl, make it into Insecure. So you have to revamp it and make it TV ready.
Yeah.
So trying to pitch it and make it something that you might see on TV one day.
True.
But right now I'm more focused on filming bad web series and then writing completely new shows.
Got you.
Working with, because I did DC Yuppies by myself. I wrote it by myself. Bad web series, I co-wrote it.
Okay.
Shout out to Ronald. Y'all might remember him.
Yes.
But co-wrote it with him, and it helps. It makes a difference when you write with other people to get other ideas and get other backstories for characters. So, I would do that in the future.
Got you.
Yeah.
Sure. Can you like, I don't know if that's like giving up too much, but like, is there like one or two things that you can share, like premises that they're like rolling around in your head right now? Or you don't want to tell?
No, I can. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I think the next thing I'm doing is like a sex-related comedy.
Okay.
Because I think black people don't have an American Pie, something like that. So I want to do that and kind of make it a series and make it funny. And
Gotcha.
Also sex sells, so I think that's a good way to get your viewers up because people want to see that.
Plus, I think in the time that we're in now, it'll be a great conversation piece. Something people can laugh with, but you can still hit points and get something out of it. With you doing these shows, what has been the hardest thing for you? Like creating them, what roadblocks have you hit, stuff like that?
I would say creating the buzz, marketing, because as an indie producer, you do everything yourself. So it's the writing, co-writing, directing. I taught myself how to edit bad web series. I had to learn how to do that. The networking, going to these different festivals and talking to people, just making yourself open and available to talk about yourself is something I have to work on.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
No, I get it. With the podcast, it's kind of like that. You know, we have a lot of events we have to go to, podcast shows that we probably wouldn't have gone to, but it's kind of like, how else do you build the buzz? How else do you get to meet other hosts and let people kind of see what you're doing,
Right.
because it's, you know, it's kind of funny because we're in the world where anybody can do a podcast, a YouTube show, you know, and because of it, it's so saturated. So now you got to find a way to kind of stand out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get it. I get it.
And finding that line, that's another one. Finding the line between doing something that makes you happy versus doing something that's going to attract an audience.
Got you.
I mean, I love doing it for myself, but also want people to look at
100%.
it. So,
I mean, it's your work.
Yeah.
I get it. How often or how much do you look at numbers? Like, how big does that play a role for you?
From a business standpoint, I look at them a lot.
Okay.
You know, I want to make sure we're getting the views.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, you know, comparing yourself to other successful shows. There's a lot of good shows out there. A couple of them just got picked up to be on TV, so I'm trying to get in that lane.
Yeah.
But when you see them and you look at them on the outside, it's like, damn, how come that couldn't be us?
Yeah.
But I also don't know what it took for them to get there. Like, this may not have been their first year. This may not have been their second year. So I've only been doing it for 4 years, and I know it feels like a long time, but it really isn't. So there's a lot more to go. So.
Definitely, because I don't even know how long Issa Rae was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this: I've heard about Misadventures of Aqua Black Girl a long time ago, and then so like when I heard that it was kind of coming out kind of like as Insecure, I recognized it. I never necessarily watched it, but I'm like, I'll say this for damn sure: I know that she's been at it for a minute.
Yeah.
All right. And so just to kind of shift gears a little bit. And you know, TJ said like kind of like this market in podcasting and web series and all stuff can be oversaturated at times because there's so many people that become interested in being a part of forms of entertainment, in film and media and writing, and these creative outlets are arguably, at least in the beginning, more about like the effort than like necessarily the cost, right? If you get a couple of microphones or you get a camera or whatever, but you know, I'm sure there's people who are listening who have been in the same boat or are in the same boat as one or all of us in this conversation. And my question to you is like, how could, from a creative perspective and from an acting perspective, like walk a person through like how they could go from like just thinking about it to being about it. It's like to actually just getting something out there content wise.
That's a good question.
Or participating in something content. So what do you guys think?
Good question.
Thank you. I wrote it.
I would say you have to go search for things that you like to do. Just go, like y'all do when y'all go to different podcasts. Like, you just go and try it out. See if you like it. If you like it, keep going at it. If you don't, try something new. And also just knowing other people. I feel as though since I've been sitting up here, Brad had brought me in and Brandon brought Brad in. So it's like you're basically having people that will help you in getting to what you want to do. And if you have a common goal, they can help you get to that goal. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to act, like, I wasn't really doing anything with my acting career, but then Brad let me know, and here I am on Bad Web Series. So it's just things like that. Your friends, just Instagram, social media. Just be on the lookout for different things that you can get yourself into.
True.
It's the proper zone.
I see you, big dog.
That's Alonzo, not Zoe.
I would say start small. If you don't think you're ready for a web series or a short film or a feature film, start with skits. Every now and then you might see these two pop up in some skits on our YouTube channel or our Instagram. So start with skits. And then also have support. Like, I know people wait until they have all their resources, they have, everything in line. But I started with, people that I know, actors, even if they weren't necessarily pursuing acting. I said, you seem like you would be a good character. You want to try it out? So start with your network. So I found actors that way. I have friends to be writers. I have friends that I've known that are makeup artists. Like, you start with your network, and that cuts a lot of the cost or a lot of the fear that you have in starting this up, and just go from there.
True.
I think that was like a really important thing that you said. Like, just do it. Kind of just do it, but also using your network.
Right.
That's been something that we've kind of really used. Like, because as a podcast, me and Danny can talk all day, but sometimes we're only talking about what we talk about. So you got to find other people. But it's like, who do you interview?
Right.
So you may reach out to somebody, you may not respond, but you may have a friend, you know what I mean, who's going through something and they don't mind talking about it. Or you may know someone. Oh, I'm sorry. You may know someone who's like looking for an opportunity to kind of say what they want to say, and it's like, you know. So I agree with that. To everybody, you know, use your network, use the people you know, friends, family, and don't be afraid to like ask. I think that's a major thing that just for people in general, like, because they're afraid of the no. But you know, for every 10 no's, you may get one yes. So
yeah, I think it's important to know, like, everybody's got a story to tell, because we don't realize like what people are always going through or have been through, and people have a funny way of like putting themselves in your life in a position where they want, and where it becomes very clear to you that like, oh, this person is trying to share this with me. Oh, Dani and TJ have a podcast. I've been through this experience and I'm willing to talk to about it. And I'll say like TJ is the one who does a lot more of the reaching out to people, because he'll see like, oh, this person, you know, talked about infant loss, you know, like people, you know, or infertility issues. This person went through domestic violence. This person is a trans person. This person, like, and like all of our walks of life, all of our experiences give us like a different take and a different outlook. And I think it's important that we share that with others in one way or the other. So like either it be through just talking about it from your own personal experience, or turning it into some type of creative idea or a story or something like that, having like some type of fictional representation of those experiences. Because I mean, what is a TV show, a movie, a book, or a play, but basically a story of somebody else's experiences, or of maybe it's played up, maybe it's minimized, but it's something there that's always like, I feel like rooted in somebody's truth. And so I think that's like, it's dope, because we're doing it, and we're doing it in just different ways, but either way, everybody's got a story to tell, and it's getting out there one way or the other. Which brings me to a question about people whose stories also maybe have inspired you guys. So creatively, like, who are you guys inspired by? Because I know you guys take your craft seriously, and anybody like that,
Jamie Foxx.
oh my god, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
is
Foxx
my
is like in
man.
Living Color, not Jamie Foxx and Ray.
I just love Jamie Foxx. Like, he's very multi-talented. Like, act, sing, play piano, and then of course the best of the best, Denzel Washington.
Okay.
But yeah, I would have to, if I had to compare myself or who I look after, I would have to say Jamie Foxx.
That does not surprise me. It's very appropriate for you.
Yes.
Very appropriate for you. But how about you guys? Like, who are your creative, who gets the juices flowing? Who do you like aspire to be like?
That's Ghost right there.
Oh my gosh.
Remember we thought?
yeah.
you heard that fake laugh.
Yes.
No, that was a real laugh. That was a real
Yeah,
laugh.
that was Bradley. That wasn't Brad. That was that Hollywood shit.
No. But I'm sitting here trying to think if I have like any favorite actor or anything.
You go.
You can go.
I would say Ryan Coogler.
Yes.
Just his story about how, you know, not too long ago we hardly knew him,
Yeah.
and now he's everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something that I always think about. Like, one day, you know, nobody's checking for you, and the next, you know, it could be that episode, that script, that it's like, oh, who's this guy? Let's find out more about him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say him. And then there's also a guy named
Tyler Perry.
No.
I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna
gosh.
Say no, but I'm not going to say yes. It's this guy named James Bland that does a web series called Giants that just got picked up on, I think it's TV One. Started off as a web series, 2 seasons, already is on TV. So that's somebody that, again, the route that I'm trying to take. So just
True.
following his footsteps. And he's very like personable. I met him at a premiere, and somebody I could, you know, come up to, talk to, ask questions. So,
That's dope.
yeah.
So I have, I'll give y'all 2 people. As far as like acting and stuff, I'll say Will Smith. Not only the different roles that he's played, but his maturation over the years. I know we all follow him on Instagram.
Everybody wants to be adopted by him. Like,
He lives his best life.
It's funny because certain traits about him remind me of my older brother as well as my father.
yeah.
So that makes me like him even more. As far as when it comes to me, who inspires me the most, he's not an actor, but Allen Iverson. It's been like that since I was a child. Because when I started watching basketball, I noticed he was the only one who like really stood out to me because he did things his way. And for the longest, I've been someone who's tried to hold back certain things about myself so I don't look weird in certain environments. Whereas now I'm more so like embrace the weirdness because that's unique. So whatever I touch, I try to add my own flavor to it. And I think back to AI because he did shit his way. And now you have a league of players, big and small players, who emulate him.
Yeah.
He did it his way. So
They definitely march to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Okay. Yes or no question, because I don't ever want this to like come back to haunt y'all or whatever. But like, are there any people who you have people who inspire you creatively? But are there any people or series or shows or actors who you look at and be like, how the hell did they get put on? Or like, how to like.
Oh, you out here being messy.
A little bit, just like, cause like sometimes, okay, is it yes or no? There's maybe some things out there where you kind of like your face gets chopped and screwed. You're looking at like, and this made it because like they just confused you, or is that just?
I think everybody has that.
Yeah,
Like,
like
how
that.
did they? When you
in
watch
life.
them, you're just like, what? Like, how did they get that? I do that way
Some
better.
of this music, you be like, how?
Like Jacquees.
The king of
R&B?
R&B,
Yeah,
the king
you
of
know?
R&B.
The one
You
that
ain't
tried
know?
to imitate or mimic Chris Brown's song, and it sounded a mess. Did y'all see that?
Nah.
I mean, I just heard him
You seen
call himself the king of R&B. So wait, who is your king of R&B?
I mean, if I'm going with what they've been talking about on social media, like the generation now, I'm gonna have to go with Chris Brown. Hands
Okay.
down.
I'm paying Chris too.
Yeah, this generation, Chris Brown.
What do you guys think, Brad, TJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go with
agree
Chris.
with that.
Chris or Trey songs.
See, I wouldn't go with Trey.
I
been consistent.
I like Chris Brown more than
He's
Trey Songz.
consistent. but at
he's
the
been consistent with hits.
He has,
And we're
but
talking
he's
about-
not like a Chris Brown.
And we're talking about our generation. If Chris Brown didn't have the domestic violence, he would have definitely been.
Michael Jackson.
He'd have been number one. But I also think that Trey Songz, like when Trey Songz came out, his music was like, it was like a mature type of music. So
I didn't like it.
nah, that first album was
I
fire.
don't think I heard the whole thing.
Oh, you're wilding. The
he
second album,
He was
but
crooning, but
I mean,
But he do put out
I mean,
hits.
they put out the songs that as radio, but you got to like really listen to the album. What I'm trying to say is that when Chris Brown came out, Chris Brown was
Hello, kid.
he was a kid. I mean, and he was actually able to successfully mature because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know, Bow Wow is still little Bow Wow. You know what I
he's
mean?
struggling.
That man is Shade Moss.
I already got music.
Shad Moss.
Shad Moss.
Shad, yeah.
Shad.
But you know, it's hard to kind of break. I mean, think about it. Even like New Edition, like what's his name? Bobby Brown had to like go the
that boy.
he had to be himself. He had to be who he really is to for them to be like he's not New Edition. He's not Candy Girl. So
Bubblegum.
so I think that you know I'm just thinking about for my generation. I'm gonna say Chris Brown and Trey Songz have probably been the two who's been like consistent.
Yeah, I'm. If I had to pick between those two,
I mean-
I'm picking Chris Brown.
I mean, Chris Brown, 100%. I'm saying all I'm saying is that I'm giving options. Chris Brown is definitely for me. He does it all: rap, sings, dances, he entertains. So yes, but I also, I mean, I can see others.
True, but we all agree that it's not Jacquees. So that we can move on from. That was a little. We digress. So, but if we're on the celebrity tip though, and this is not a messy question, I promise. If you could work with somebody or bring somebody in that was like semi-famous, really famous, that like wants a bad web series, do you guys have anybody in mind who you'd love to like be in a scene with, to bring on, either writing wise or like an actor that you'd want to see on the show?
Like you said, he like comedy. I like comedy too. So I would have to go with like somebody like Jamie Foxx or Martin. a Will. Those are the people I would look for in our show. I'm trying to think of a female that I would like to see.
Well, I like 90s, so I'm thinking like the Maori sisters could come on as like
Tia
a
and
cousin.
Tamara.
Yeah.
True,
I like them.
true. They definitely be doing them Hallmark movies.
I know.
So
They
yeah.
still be acting.
Come on over.
Still being messy.
No, I'm talking about like no. First of all,
Shady.
'tis the season. First of all, Netflix is definitely trying to bogart Hallmark's whole like vibe during the holiday season. Like I came up with all the Christmas movies, like the cheesy, like cutesy ones, and that was,
So you'll watch those movies,
they spell everybody's name right in the opening credits.
but the black movies, you're racist.
The only one I watched this season had Quincy in it, Kim Porter, R.I.P., and Diddy and I'll Be Sure's son. So there you have it, black person. I digress.
Oh, you one of those? You one of the people who be like, I have a black friend.
Anyway,
Okay.
Brad, anybody think I see him pondering? You know, you always think so
Yeah, I do.
deeply about things.
No, not really. But you mentioned like being on the show with somebody I would like to work with. I look at people who don't really get a lot of attention because there's a lot of talent out there. Like there's certain people on social media. When I watch their videos, I'm legit laughing. One dude I really like his humor. It's a dude. His name is Moneybag Mafia. He's like best friends with DC Young Fly or something like that. Funny as hell. And I look at him like, damn, that's somebody I could do a funny ass scene with, something like that. Actually, I got a frat brother who I don't know. Whenever we interact, it's always like we be on the same page. I fuck with him heavy. My man Mike, he crossed Pi Theta. Funny ass dude. Sometimes he do some funny stuff on Instagram. But as far as like big name celebrities, nah.
Yeah.
Nah,
See,
not
and I
really.
was kind of thinking of like people who, cause I mean, I feel like Instagram, and let me back up, cause like one thing Brandon you were talking about was about like, you know, just starting, like just kind of getting to it, like not waiting until you have like all your ducks in a row and everything like that. And if you think about like with social media, like people, that's where so many people get their start from, because all you need is a phone, like and some type of talent, things like that. And he said do like skits and stuff, and how Brad and Zoe do them. Think about Vine, like, you know, the defunct Vine, whatever. Vine used to be like you had 6 seconds
Yeah.
To be the
Yeah.
funniest
to
person
get that
you
shit
could be.
right.
I never even had Vine.
But
I didn't either.
I had a Vine, but I just
nah.
watched
I
Vine.
had
I didn't really.
DC Young Fly was funny on there. Shiggy was on there. Like they were
But
funny.
Shiggy wasn't really.
You didn't
like
think
Shiggy's
Shiggy?
funny when he be dancing, when he
You
be
ain't like
in the
Shiggy?
chiclatas, and he be like stomping.
that
I,
shit, yeah.
You know,
I like early Shiggy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like early, I don't really
You don't care
watch
for
this
him?
stuff no more.
Yeah.
I like
shade.
Shiggy.
Nah, he cool.
I've been following him for some years now.
Yeah.
I like
fuck
DC
with
Young
him.
Fly.
That's who I like.
You said
You
who?
like the
DC
one?
Young Fly.
You like the dude
Yeah.
from like Chicago or whatever?
He like
Oh.
hilarious.
Oh, you put him on, right?
From
Oh God.
corporate. Oh my God, that's my man.
Okay.
He's like, oh God.
Oh God.
And so that like
Yeah, he's funny.
He's funny. It's just I like what he did. I like how he kind of like tells a story and he acts it out. Like he's telling the story while he's acting out.
Yeah.
They're really not talking. It's just he's narrating it, and then the actors like him and other people are just doing.
It's
I like
really
that.
just
It's
him
very
talking.
creative. Yeah, it is.
Him talking is just funny.
Funny.
Yeah, it is.
The stuff he be saying, how he be saying it, his
Yeah.
slang is just funny.
yeah. Even
So-
like Jess Hilarious, like she's.
Just hilarious.
That's funny as shit.
I mean,
Jess-
that's Baltimore. You
Jess
know,
is funny, but I met Jess at like a basketball game and she was like hosting. I didn't think she was that funny there. Like
But
she
see-
wasn't.
but
It's
see,
a little different when
I
you-
also think that people have to. You not like. There's people who's funny all the time. There's people who's funny when they're talking about something. Like not everybody can host. Like
this is true.
like you can have someone who's funny
Like hilarious.
online, but when they get in front of people, they're like, you know what I mean? Because their jokes, like online, is going to everybody. So whoever, but if you have like a set group of people, and if they don't know you, or if you don't know how to get their attention, then it's going to be on deaf ears.
You
Yeah, I didn't
only
know
get
she
one
was-
take.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
stuff on social media. You don't know how many times they looked at it and said, "Nah, that wasn't that funny.
'Cause
I didn't like how I looked."
Her on the Rel show, she's funny.
Yeah,
She
she's
does well.
hilarious on there.
yeah,
I
I
don't
like.
really,
She's
I don't really
like
love
social
that
media.
show though, but I'm going to watch it
Which one?
for support. Rel.
Yeah, I like Rel a little bit.
I like Rel, but I feel like some of it is just like it's too far fetched. Like, and then when he tried to do like his extra characters, it's like, Like Martin, when he had his extra characters, they were like funny.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm trying to be funny.
Okay.
But again, it's his first season, and you know, I'm going to support because I want to see it to continue to grow. Because you know, they don't really give us that many opportunities. So if one person win, we all win.
Yeah,
that's true.
Prime time on a Sunday. I mean,
you gotta support. That's what we're trying to get bad web series too. We're trying to get like primetime Sundays at 8 on Fox or whatever.
Don't cancel the Simpsons, but we don't.
Don't cancel the Simpsons. Ain't never going nowhere. Simpsons be predicting the future. So first of all, they ain't never going nowhere. But
that's who I would like to have on the show. Just hilarious.
I was like the Simpsons.
It's like March.
She was a girl I like. Watch Jazzy. I like Watch Jazzy.
I like Simone.
B. Simone.
No, not B. Simone.
She don't like her.
Simone
Shepherd.
Keyron girl.
She's too loud for Danny.
She's just. I'm gonna say
like her.
She's just. Yeah, I can't do loud. I don't know. But Simone Shepherd is funny to me.
Yeah,
I like her. And King
Keyron.
Yeah. Like I like them together too.
No, I mean, they got like a little clique of them who's like just pretty funny. Like, funny web series, like funny like skits.
Yeah.
You know? And that like, is that something that you got, like, you are, and I mean, have you started making like those connections like with other like web series, or like in that circle? Because I'm assuming just like how there's like a podcasting world that we kind of like have interacted and worked our way into. You guys, there's probably like a web series like world. So like, how's that been going for you guys? Like, just kind of getting in there.
There's a couple of DC shows that I've reached out to and connected with. I feel like a lot more is going on in New York and LA.
Agreed.
So when I see the shows, you know, I follow them, and I've been talking to creators and producers, directors, and you know, we have conversations back and forth. So I appreciate the support. The LA one is a little bit tougher to get into because I think like they move out there and they just go for it. So it's a little harder. Like, I mean, I would love to take a trip out there and hopefully, you know, run into somebody at a party or like a networking event and try to work my way in that way. But New York, I think I'm slowly getting into that circle and talking to them a little bit more, and then LA is like untapped territory.
Got you.
Yeah, we feel the same way. Like, we have made it benefits being from New York, but like, yeah, we've definitely made many a trip to New York to kind of just like.
I mean, that's an easy trip though.
Yeah, it is.
You can catch the mega bus, $40 round trip. If you're lucky, maybe $3. You
gotta connect.
If you book it early enough, tickets $3. As low as $1.50.
I've never paid $1.50.
I've never seen $1.
I paid like $20, $40 basically, because $20 round trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've paid both ways. I paid $10 one way, $30 the other. Like, I mean, I played different ways, but if you book it like in advance,
I don't know if I'm built for the mega bus anymore though. I just like.
Oh, with Tatum, I'm not. But if I need to go up there real quick and I don't feel like driving, yeah, I'm built for it.
True.
I'm super built for it. I mean, you washed though, so.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Player, owner, coach.
And you're pretty bougie, so.
Okay, I'll be bougie too.
I'm just saying.
You're bougie too?
Nah, I'm gonna get on the mega bus.
Listen, you bougie in your own ways.
That's crazy to me. It's not about me though.
It is not. So. And you actually kind of, I think you touched on this a little earlier, Brandon, I was thinking about Issa Rae, because like I think she's kind of like the new like poster child of like getting from YouTube to like HBO, right? And I remember watching her talk about, when people asked her about like, you know, how did she make Aqua Black Girl like pop? And she was saying that she like reached across and not up, because it's so easy for us to be like, to think like, okay, I'm going to like try to connect or link. I put those two words together. Connect. To try to connect or link with people who are like further ahead or are higher in the higher rankings echelons of these worlds. But she went to like her coworkers, her old classmates, this and that, and that's already kind of what you've been doing. And so how effective and how well has that been working for y'all? Because I mean, you're sitting here flanked by two people who it was almost like a domino effect. Like, you brought on Brad brought in Zoe. Like, how does that, you know, has it been working well? Is that like the method y'all are gonna continue to use? So like, what is that about?
Yeah, I would say definitely keep working across, but also take your shots at working up. So, you know, I have my support system. I have, you know, friends that are actors and behind the scenes. that can also push the show out to their networks. And I love the support I get from people when they'll post a video or post the promo and say tune in on this day or whatever. But when you have the opportunity to meet those higher ups, you should take them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, going in somebody's DM saying, hey, check out this show is not the best way to do it. If you have a chance to meet them face to face, talk to them, engage in a conversation before you go straight into the, hey, check me out, or hand them a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that at festivals. Not like it was a hard lesson, but like it was something they taught us, and I think that's worked better. Something I need to continue to work on, because I'm still learning how to approach people that are in a better position of me or a higher position currently, and how to come to them with my project looking like, hey, this is something that I just came up with on YouTube and y'all are already on TV. Can you give me a shot? But it's just a way to form it.
Yeah.
And, you got to be proud of what you have out there. So
I think that's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you technically only get one shot. So
Exactly.
it's like, do I waste it or do I not? I mean, so I think that's the biggest thing. For me, I just try to be genuine. And, if it comes up, then I'll bring it up. But if it doesn't, I won't. Like, I'll introduce myself to somebody, talk about it. And if it comes up, then I'll bring up the podcast. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to just, you know what I mean? Just because so many people are trying to reach out to these people.
right.
And even with that, I've kind of like shied away from trying to like reach out to the top, which I do agree you should do it. But I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't want to get to a position where it's like I'm clout chasing. I'm trying to find the top people.
Yeah.
Like I've actually been cool with like reaching down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like someone's not a part of this world, but let me bring them into the world. But I think that's probably the toughest thing for me, because I'm not, coming from New York, it's always been kind of like, fuck you, like, like I'm the shit, fuck you, like I don't need you. And now I got to change that to kind of be like, well, I kind of need you. And then it's like, if they're rude or if they don't respond or if they're assholes, now I got to be like, I can't be like, fuck you. I got to be like, all right, you know what I mean? Have a great day. Like, you kind of humble yourself. You got to learn how to, like, change who you are, because you don't know who you're speaking with. You don't know who they know. You don't know the effect.
Exactly.
And I think that's tough, too. I mean, it's a great experience to be able to, like, learn yourself and how resistant you can be to the bullshit that you may be exposed to.
I agree. And I think it's funny, I had a slightly different take on it, which is like, the way I look at it sometimes, it's like, I feel like we are conditioned to be humble. Like, you don't want to like brag and be like, hey, I have this podcast. Hey, I have this web series. It's really good.
Yeah.
Check it out. Like, you don't want to brag about yourself. And you want to be like, hey, I act on this show. Like, check out my work. Here's my headshot. Hey, like, it's difficult to kind of put yourself out there in that way when we kind of are conditioned as a society to be like, don't brag, be humble. Like, you're not as good as, everybody, you are just like everybody else that other, like, what makes you special? So it's that trying to teeter between those two words of like, either you don't want to put yourself there and be like, nah, fuck you, you're not going to like tell me about myself, and also be like, hey, I have something here I think you would really be interested in, without, seeming like people think you're being cocky or, being cocky.
It's hard to play the game. It's not something simple, and I'm glad you kind of talked about it, because it's something we probably don't talk about, so people listening, they don't know how to interact with people, or what's the best way to reach out to somebody, or should I, or what to talk about. We're not taught this,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're self-taught the way I'm self-taught. I Googled it and I reached out to some people who I knew, and then I kind of went from there. But you know what I mean, you taught yourself how to shoot video. So now you cut the cost there. So now it's like, you know what I mean, you're building upon that. So, I just think it's dope. I think it's dope, and I'm glad we're having a conversation, because, it's good to see sometimes that, oh shit, the shit that we go through, you're going through.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're in two different worlds technically, but it's the same struggle, same fight. So
Yep. It's like, I know the content is good. I I just need somebody to like appreciate the shit, like
yeah.
and like in a way that's like meaningful.
Yeah, 100%. Like when people like reach out to me on Twitter or IG, I make sure to like reach out to them or have Danny reach out to them, no matter who it is, just because you didn't have to.
Right.
You know, it's those little small things that I hope to be able to just keep going. You know.
Sometimes I like imagine that, you know, if this thing really kind of goes somewhere, and I'm like, remember when we asked you for a fucking interview and you act like you left us on red, bitch? Like,
you gotta remain humble.
You know, I know, but like,
I-
it's like a little tiny piece,
and
and a little tiny piece of me be like,
But I like those.
I'm like,
moments.
I'ma still work with you, but I remember I
I
still
like
got
those
the
moments,
DM.
Those are like humbling. Those are like awakening moments. You know what I mean? Because again, we've had people who said they'll come on, didn't.
No shows.
That didn't work. But then we had people that I shot my shot, and they was like, sure, and it was like, oh shit, like.
You're like, okay, I guess we doing this thing for real, for real.
You know, so I think as long as you love doing what you're doing, it's easier to do.
Yeah.
Like once it becomes that you don't love it, once it becomes something that you don't want to do, then you should close up shop. So.
Yeah. So, question for you, gentlemen. We know that this is a passion. We know it's fun, but what's difficult about acting or acting in a scripted series, and what's difficult about writing or directing a scripted series?
I would say writing and directing, not or.
Sorry, excuse me.
Gotcha.
Writing and directing. So, because these 6-second clips and stuff like that, those things that are curated for like social media, those are still only like 6 seconds, 60 seconds. Now you're talking about 10 minutes, 12, 15 minutes, an hour, like all the time. That's a long time in the world of like web series. So what's hard about that?
For me, it's getting the schedules together. You know, everybody has a life, so trying to get their schedules together with filming, and we do most of our stuff on Saturdays and Sundays. That's when everybody's free. So it's hard to, you know, coordinate schedules because everybody has other things going on. But I say for the most part, everybody's been really flexible, and I appreciate that. I guess some of the other hard things can be the editing. It's fun, but you want to put it together in a way that makes sense, that puts together the vision that you have for every scene. And I think sometimes you can think you're done, and then you go back and watch it a month later, and you're like, oh, that didn't make sense, or I can cut this part out because that half a second where like the scene where like somebody's line took too long, I should have cut that part off and then gone to the next part. So I think you have to find a place where you get comfortable and happy with whatever the product is, but you want it to be your best. So I would say, I guess being a perfectionist is another thing. But other than that, I think, you know, it's not too hard. I mean, it can be a very time-consuming process. We can film for 5 hours and you got 2 minutes worth of a scene out of it because that's just how the scene went. They gotta get their makeup done. Yeah, the guys get their makeup done. Yeah, you gotta
because I have to.
Nah, but I didn't like
one
it.
time Zoe came over and he had on makeup.
That was at the party.
Oh yeah, David's birthday party. And I was like, so it was like your skin, and I was like, oh.
You walked it off.
It was all in the suit.
It was
all in the suit.
It was all in the Elmo suit. He was Elmo. So you should put that on your resume. You'd be like, Tony, Elmo.
Definitely
Santa. Yeah, multifaceted.
So the behind the scenes stuff can take up some time, and then actually filming takes up time, and then putting together takes up time. So it's time consuming, but like you said, if you love it, then it's fun.
Yeah. How about from the acting side?
For me, I'll say a big challenge of mine is remembering to don't become a character. You have to make the character a part of you. Because if you try to become a character, you're trying too hard to be somebody that you're really not, and it displays on the lens. Okay. So that's something that I've learned over time. So when I get in a zone where I'm comfortable and I'm just myself, and I already have the lines memorized, like I'm fine after that. But sometimes, like, I'm my biggest critic. So there's times where I see myself on camera and everybody can say I'm looking fine, but I know, like, that's not me. I need to sell it a little better and be myself.
Okay.
So that's kind of big with me.
True.
I would have to say, like, in the beginning, the most difficult thing for me was, like, I know I'd be, like, outgoing and stuff like that, but I get nervous. So, like, working with Brad on the first scene, it was like, all right, cool. But then when we brought in, like, other people, like, people that I didn't know, it was kind of difficult for me because I was kind of nervous. And I was like, oh, dang, like, I don't know how this going to go. I don't know how they're going to think of me because I'm new. I feel like they've been here. How am I going to make myself in? But after a while, like, since I was there with Brad and Brandon just welcomed me in with open arms, I just felt like, okay, I got this. Like, I can be my goofy self and still have fun and be accepted instead of like, oh, this nigga's acting real goofy right now. Like, chill out, the scene over, bruh. Like, I just feel like I can always have fun and be myself, so it makes it a lot more easier for me to get in roles and stuff like that and take critiques. Like, if I'm doing something, Brad would be like, hey, Zo, that's not you, bruh. Like, be yourself. And I'm like, I bet. Like, I was getting into my acting zone and not me being myself zone. Like,
Okay.
So kind of like you were early in the
yeah, like that's like a
that's the tone.
Yeah, my name
That's
is
the
Alonzo.
tone
I
that
was
he
a
gets.
performing arts major, Towson alone,
Yeah.
class of 2000.
That's the tone. I'm familiar with the tone.
I've done
Like you
six
going on a
plays.
Just
job
didn't want to
interview.
put them out there like that.
I've done
Oh, my-
6
yeah. When I go to
plays.
interviews or jobs, I'll be like, how you doing, man? I'm Alonzo Hatton. I would like to introduce myself. Da da da
You
da.
gotta be yourself all the time.
My man eyebrows went up. Like,
Yeah.
you about to spit game.
And my boss love me. Like,
There
so
you go.
that's myself, but it's just a little bit more toned down, I guess.
When recording, how much improv is allowed, or how much critique do you allow the actors to be like, maybe we should, do it like this, or
I let them, for the most part, put their own spin on it.
okay,
But if you're starting to talk over each other and the lines don't come out, I'm like, okay, let's try to do it how it's on paper.
got you.
Yeah.
And then we'll try it the other way after
Yeah.
that. But as long as the line comes out right, sometimes they may have something that's even funnier, or they may say the line a different way that's funnier on camera. So I'll let it go. But yeah, as long as everybody's not talking over each other and we can hear what the actual line or what the plot is, and I'm good with it.
Yeah, I've randomly do it. You could tell when I'm really having fun when I just start doing random shit. And then he'll end up keeping some of it, and it's like, damn, that looked pretty good on camera. So he lets us have fun. And then, like he said, if it's not that funny or he not feeling it, let's go ahead back to what we were doing.
Well,
I've
you
heard
look
my
up at-
face.
huh?
I said I've heard my face, can tell, like, oh, let's have fun, and then let's just do what's on the paper.
Well, if you keep fucking the line up, you can see it in Brandon's face.
Oh no! So what's like
I
a?
can't see Brandon being angry.
It's not really like
It's not an
it's
angry
like
phase. It's like, because Brandon has a very dry humor, and I've known him long enough to where he doesn't have to say anything to me. I could tell from his body language and his facial expressions what he's thinking. So I hear his voice saying something, and I just bust out laughing. Like, it was that one scene. You posted the outtakes. When Zoe, we were in the car and you was like, hey, isn't that Calandra from Bad Series?
man, I kept fucking up the bad website. Not the bad website, the DC Yuppie.
Yeah, and he couldn't get it. And the look on Brandon's face after a while, I lost it. I was laughing my ass off. So.
See, I thought that was like planned.
No.
That was just so fucking up.
Yeah. And those are the moments that I love it when Brandon captures it on camera because it's real. And even though we posted his bloopers, it's still something good to have and show to the people. Because sometimes it's the stuff that wasn't scripted that's really going to get that hearty laugh out of somebody.
So
Like when I was ashy.
oh my god. So what is one of the, like, if that pops in the memory, like one of the funniest outtakes that you could, like, a recent memory maybe that you could think of, like from the show, or like even if it was scripted, something that kind of stands out.
I think when we did the chickens, when we was in the car that same day, I thought that day, the feathers, we did like, so when we were supposed to be driving, and
Thank you.
we was looking at the DC Yuppies girl, and I ended up swerving, and we were going all over the place, and then at the end you hear like, you see feathers flying and then chicken sounds, and it's like, what? I thought that was funny. And then the person that was doing the feathers was laughing at everything.
No, you.
Jocelyn?
I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
what she was
Jocelyn.
laughing at, and that's actually the funniest moment because Jocelyn's laugh just
She has an
made me
infectious
die.
laugh.
Yeah, I love Jocelyn's laugh. So we were doing that scene, and we were done the scene. And this was like, what was it, summertime?
Yeah, it was hot as shit.
So exactly, because Zoe said, "You need her to get out this car because it's burning up." So he started singing it, and that set Jocelyn off. It set her off, and I saw her. I lost it, and he the only one not laughing. What am I laughing at? I'm like, she laughing at you, bro. What is?
Oh,
was
Josh. Okay, yeah. It don't. You know, I'm grateful for Jocelyn's easy sense of humor.
Yeah,
That definitely saved me a couple of times. But oh my gosh, that makes a whole lot of sense. That it's her that couldn't keep it together and throwing feathers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But so we're gonna switch gears just a tiny bit, right? So this is a relationship podcast. So we would be remiss if we didn't talk a little about relationships.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the signature line.
All right.
Put my
We didn't
glasses
talk about.
on.
Oh, now you getting serious?
Yeah.
You got your business now?
Yeah.
So, relationships are kind of like a central focus, and plus it was in DC Yuppies. And I mean, and all stories are about relationships, and in some of the plots in bad web series. So, are there any examples of where art was imitating life with some of these storylines? Or are they just coming straight out of thin air? If you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it. I say for the most part, out of thin air.
Okay.
I try not to use other people because I don't want them to be like, was that what happened to me? It did happen once. One of my friends went on a date with somebody, and I used it in DC Yuppies because I was like, nobody knows it's you, and that can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
But like one of the characters in DC Yuppies got caught cheating. Well, not cheating. They were with their boyfriend, but their boyfriend just came back from cheating, and they ran into this girl at a restaurant. She was like, "Oh, so you taking your girl to the restaurant I introduced you to?" And one of my friends, we all went out, for dinner, and she looked out the window and saw somebody she knew, and so when she saw it on the show, she was like, "Don't be trying to best man me and using my stuff."
That's what I was thinking about.
So
Harper.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Morris Chestnut gonna come beat your ass.
So, and so like you guys all are. Yes, we all have kind of our jobs that pay the bills, but in our hearts, like we are creatives. You all are creatives. Do you feel like it makes things more or less difficult to like date or be in a relationship with somebody who like has these pursuits, be it acting, writing, directing? Like, what do you think that makes things easier? Do you think it makes things more difficult, like when you are talking to women?
I think it just depends. Like, when I talk to women, I really don't tell them about the Bad Word series until we're talking more, and then I'll bring it in, be like, oh yeah, like I gotta go to this shoot out PG, and they'll be like, oh, for real, what is this? And then I'll tell them like, oh, it's a Bad Web series, you know what I'm saying? You can check it out on YouTube. Be creative, B.E. creative with the number 8. Like,
True.
And so, like, stuff like that, I don't think it is difficult. I think they are more encouraging when I let them know and tell them. They're like, oh yeah, because it is so prominent now, like the entertainment world, like people that I didn't even think would be acting or going out and doing acting or entertainment. So, yeah, I don't think it's difficult. I don't think the girl finds it difficult that you're trying to pursue something as far as like acting or writing or directing. Yeah, as long as you have somebody that is there for you, they'll support you. So.
True.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to add on, find somebody that's supportive of the hustle. Like I said, we do everything on weekends, and that's usually like date time.
That's prime time.
That's date time. So, I mean, if you have to change it to, a work night date, which is a struggle. But
Tuesdays is yours, baby. Like, yeah.
So, I mean, just find somebody who supports you, supports the art, willing to put in time to actually come check you out, check your show out, check out what you're doing, spend time on set.
Help me.
Yeah, that
go
means
over line.
Go over, yeah.
Like, yeah,
that means a lot. So.
Yeah,
True.
I agree with what they said, especially when Brandon said, get somebody supportive. 'cause we at the age now, we all have a dream. We try and chase it, and you're not going to acquire it if you have all this free time. So you may have certain types of people out there that want all of your free time, and they may feel some type of way if you don't have as much, if you become busier with whatever it is you're aspiring to do. But those are the type of people who maybe need to be single for a while or be with another type of person, because you got to understand, we all want to be our greatest selves. Mm-hmm. So if somebody can't see that and they're complaining about you chasing this dream, then maybe they need to, be with somebody else.
Dream with somebody else.
Yeah.
True that. And I think that's an important point. Like, you need somebody who supports you, who supports what you're doing. And it, like, I think too, like, especially in this case, it's not just like, I'm just kind of like bullshit with my boys every Saturday and Sunday. Like, there's like an actual product, there's effort, there's tangible like outcomes to like the things that would take your time away from a significant other. Mm-hmm. So I think that's important too, for that significant other to see, and for you to be like, listen, like, what I'm doing is real, it matters, it's not just me like pussyfooting around all weekend.
So you can come if you want. Shit, Brandon, nice.
Exactly. Come
he'll let you come in.
Exactly. Come
I think he got Popeyes today too, because we
call first.
They call first.
I text him. Yeah, I got
I be thinking about it, and then he tell me that story about
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
I think about it like, oh, you can come. Nah, man, don't even.
I think
that's gonna be an offline.
Exactly.
They have a little visitor.
Could y'all be in a relationship with someone who wasn't a creative?
Who's I'm an accountant. I like what I do.
Like, like someone like when you're telling them your dreams or you're showing them stuff that kind of
That's
like
a good ass question, bro.
Not for me,
but
I mean, like Brandon said, and like I said, as long as you support me, you don't have to.
They support you, but they just don't get it. Like, I support you, I support what you do, but it's just not me. Like,
well, as long as you don't downplay it, like,
gotcha.
Don't say, "Oh yeah, he does this web series. I don't really like it though," but or I don't really know what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
I think
the little show.
Yeah, he put that little
one.
Yeah,
but no, I look at it as like, that's like if you're trying to date outside of like your religion. Like if you're a Catholic and somebody else is like
Jewish,
like how can you change yourself or work or support them even though they're Jewish and you're Catholic? Like, I feel as though that's kind of the same when you're looking at relationships.
I mean, people do it all the time.
They do. That's what I'm saying. I think that I could do it, but I would want somebody that wanna.
You gotta have a little bit of creativity. You gotta.
Yeah, I honestly.
As long as you are an animated person.
No, I'm saying.
Everybody not.
They not.
You talking about plain Jane?
You gotta have to drive. Say that. I'll say that. You don't have to be.
Go to work and count instead of the.
No, I'm saying they support you, but like when you come home, you like, I have this amazing idea, and she's like, I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
because I was gonna say, like, I don't get into sports, but like I get you.
You placate me.
Yeah, I mean, I think and actually, I feel
I'll be hyped about sports. You be like, yeah.
You're like, go team. But sometimes I ask questions too, which I think is like important.
Showing interest.
Yeah, like showing interest. I'd be like, so who is it? And TJ is very clutch when it comes to like relating with my my students, because I've definitely been like texting like, babe, who's this who's this player, or what is it, like when it comes to basketball or whatever. And then because especially like my boys, and I gotta make sure I'm like up one, and I'd be like, nah, nigga, like I know what I'm talking about too, like, and that's really me texting TJ on the side like, is this accurate? Like, like just the other day, I texted him about some Jordans. Like one of my boys is like, Miss Bias, I got these Jordans.
The Concord.
He was like, they say Mars on them, but I don't want to wear them if they're not real. And I was like,
the son of Mars.
Yes. And I was like, TJ, I was like, are these real Jordans? And he was like, I was like, they say Mars on them somewhere. And he was like, so I like Googled it and sent him a picture. And he was like, and I was like, is this what this looks like? And he was like, yeah. And I sent it to TJ. I was like, this is what he says he has. He was like, okay, those are real. And I was like, yes. Mr. Myers said they're real. He was like, all right, I'm going to wear them. And I was like,
I mean, I'm not wearing Sons of Mars. But.
Yeah, no.
But they're Jordans.
They are.
Oh,
and they're kind of
different classes of Jordans.
Huh?
Yeah.
You got different classes. Not all Jordans are just
built
Jordans.
the same.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, but the son of Mars wiggled his way underneath for the other ones.
I mean, listen, I had the Jordan 6 rings, and those aren't
I mean, but people have the 6 rings.
Oh, I copped them because I didn't get the Concord, so you know what I mean.
The black and white ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, like the J's out that look like the 7s, but they not the 7s.
No.
Like, nah.
You can't do
the team.
You can't do every Team Jordan.
Nah.
Eddie Jones had a pair of Team Jordans back in the day that were fire.
I had those. You talking about the ones that zip up, or which ones you talking about?
They were like white and blue, and they had like Jordan on the side. I'm gonna look them up.
This is like
I remember the ones that had the flap, and you folded over the shoestrings and tie it up. I had the all black ones.
Every pair I own, he bought. I just be like, thank you,
Right.
and then I go from there. Like,
And be stunting at school.
yeah, I definitely
Stunting on
I
the
be
kids.
shitting on the kids. They be like, "Women's buys too like that." I be like, "Yeah, I know." Don't ask me what number they are. I be like, I don't know. Just know that I know they better than your shoes.
Oh yeah, everybody had those.
So
Everybody had those.
but
They had the Jordan on the top, not on the side.
But yeah, so let's round this sucker out with one hypothetical question, right? Kind of in the vein of what TJ was talking about. So let's say you each find a lady love, right?
Sorry.
Gosh, real professional.
Sound effects.
Gosh, so she isn't a creative herself, but she supports you. Like she doesn't placate, doesn't downplay, right? And she wants to help. Okay, but like
She can help by staying home.
she can't act, she can't write, she can't do, and she can't throw feathers. She can't do nothing. She can't do shit right. So like,
Can she fundraise?
what do you tell her?
If
Like,
she's in that
like what?
club,
Like, because
then
you know you have those people sometimes who like are cheerleaders. Do like I want to help, but like their help is hurtful. Like it's just like terrible. So like, would you still bring her on board, or would you be like, listen, the best way for you to help is to stay the fuck home on Saturdays and Sundays when I go to film. So what do you think you would do?
I mean, if it's that bad, yeah, you're going to have to stay home. But I feel as though I would use my personality and my outgoing skills to try to bring her in some kind of way. Like, if you can't video record, you can't act, I'm going to just catch you when you being yourself. When I'm just want to record, I'm going to record you being yourself. And that probably is better than you trying to do something that you're not good at. But I will applaud you for trying and helping me out and supporting me, because
Brandon shaking his head no.
you're saying
No, I'm just thinking from a director and.
I mean, no, on your perspective, yeah, what's she gonna do? You can't. I mean,
Can
put
she
it
get,
on a
like, the
tripod
coffee?
and tell
Can
her the
she
whole.
get, like, the
Just tell her put on a
what if
tripod.
she
You
like
just
she
stand
fuck
there.
up the orders? Like
Yeah.
she like
It was like this thing is on time, and I'm trying to get everybody, be respectful of everybody's time. Just the best thing you could do in that scenario is just stay home, just stay out of it. I appreciate you, but thank you.
thank you next.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
I mean, if she's supportive, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm
But if she just isn't good at anything, I've had a way of delivering shit with some Mrs. Dash on it, to make it taste a little better. I try to incorporate my humor and things, but I would find a way to tell her, look, you're not helping, you in the way, so you need to stay out the way. I would like if she could come, if Brandon was like, yeah, she can come over, and she sit her ass down in the corner somewhere and watch from afar,
Like a child.
cool. And then like when I'm done the scene, like because if you make noise, Brandon hears all the little noises, then he starts to get frustrated. I don't want you getting in Brandon's way. All right, so just relax,
Just take your ass downstairs.
watch me, because you support me, which I appreciate more than anything. And then in between scenes, I'm gonna come over to, hey babe, how'd that look? Was that good? Cool. Then we good with that.
I feel like that could be, and I'm not. I don't know if you've done it yet, but like a scene for like an episode where like somebody brings their girl to the set and she just ends up getting in the way. Have you done that already?
Have I done that?
Have you done it? Because I can just
We
see somebody
haven't
like
done that.
I can see like
It
Brad's
happens,
girlfriend
but
coming.
we haven't
Yeah,
done
Oh,
it.
Brad's girlfriend coming through, and the next thing you know, she's like looking for the bathroom in the background, like.
Oh, see, yeah, that's why I said just stay still, because
Yeah.
the mic picks up everything. So if you're gonna be here, you need to just relax.
You know, because it's like it's more awkward than somebody just walking through the frame, than somebody like tiptoeing the frame and looking around and we're like, oh shit, and then they try to duck down and you think
And make it more obvious, like just walk, like.
Oh my
That's
god,
good material.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Exactly.
That is.
That's good.
There you go.
Play it back.
No,
Yes.
Co-written by.
Exactly. Tim had Lovers Quarrel as a little co-producer
Yeah.
credit for that
That was
episode.
good.
But I mean, listen, guys, I think that's about it. This was so much fun. Like, I'm glad we got to like chop it up and talk about this side of life, and our pursuits to be creative and express ourselves, be the millennials that we were born to be. But with that being said, can you guys make sure that everybody knows like when the new season, is dropping and where they can find y'all before we wrap this up?
We're on Facebook as Be Creative Productions. That's B.E.CRE8IVE. I try to be creative and made it too hard for people to find us. Same thing on Instagram at Be Creative, Twitter at Be Creative. There might be an underscore in there. On YouTube, find us. The best way to find us is just type in Bad Web Series. The episodes will pop up. The best thing you can do for us on there is just subscribe. We're at like 770, trying to get to 1,000 by Christmas so that we can bring out episode 2 before the new year. But episode 1 will be out next Tuesday, December 18th. At 7 o'clock, we're going to do something new that YouTube is doing called Feature, where I can schedule it, and I want y'all to watch and chat live with whoever's on. So
That's dope. I love it. And we'll put all of the handles spelled correctly with the underscores in the show notes.
Jazz it up.
So you can click on it.
Click on that thing like at alter ego.
Type letters.
Number
What's
3
that?
underscore.
Oh my goodness. And
Make sure you
Brad-
follow me on IG and Twitter.
Oh wait, you repeat it because I don't think everybody heard
They
it.
heard me.
Oh, listen, we talking over each other.
Oh, okay. You want to do yours? I'm going to do mine. At
Sky.
alter ego underscore, but the E is a 3. Here we
the
go.
alter or the ego 3?
The ego 3.
Okay.
All right.
So I would usually say alter 3 go and then underscore.
We'll put that in the notes here. That's on another. You was on another wavelength with that zone.
Yeah, you know, I had to. You just gotta do it, like y'all said. Just do it. Nike.
Right.
Brad, where can folks
That
find
was
you?
good. I like that. On Instagram, you can find me at Furious Styles. So that's at PHURIOUS _Styles. You should know how to spell that.
Nah, you should spell it for them.
STYLES. I got 3rd grade in the spelling bee. Back in 4th grade, I got put out. Couldn't spell glaucoma.
That was a good one. I lost on Virtue, my dumb ass.
But then I went back the next year. Was so damn nervous. I got out on calculator.
Oh no!
Don't judge me. All right, y'all don't own gavels, so shut up. Thank you.
I lost the convenience, which is a little tricky.
I never lost.
I never misspelled it again. Never fucking get it.
Because I didn't do it.
I've never invited.
I didn't even do it.
I didn't get a chance.
It was down to me and this other
we know you ain't gonna make it.
boy, and I fucked up on convenience. I was like, God damn it! But one of my
You can
8th
spell it
graders now, wants to have though. a spelling bee. One of my 8th graders wants to have a spelling bee against a staff versus students. And I was like, I will wash your ass. I was
take
like,
pride in
all
spelling.
that shit is out the window. You talking? Oh, you know what? He want to play. TJ want to do things to make himself feel better. Like he said in the beginning of the episode, he want to play video games. Let's have a spelling bee, nigga. I will wash that ass and feel
I'll
better
come
about
over here
that.
and judge that.
Exactly.
First off, you be asking me to help you in that word game.
That's like Scrabble. That's Scrabble. That's
And not Scrabble. They give you words. You got to be able to make the words with the words
No,
there.
but
You be
I know how to
I don't want
spell-
to use the diamonds.
I know how to spell the words.
That should be hitting me. I don't want to use my diamonds. Like they give you diamonds to give you a hint.
But I
nigga.
know.
we don't use
I
those.
don't misspell the words.
I use them.
I don't misspell the words. I just
Build them
can't
bitches
think
up
of
and I
them.
use them bitches.
So,
You know,
it's like,
that's the
Bible
worst
or
thing.
whatever.
When you use the damn diamond and it'd be like, it gave you the word, you're like, I knew that. fucking
Yeah,
word.
that's why I don't use it.
Fucking-
I
Nah.
don't use it. I'll give my phone to somebody else to tell them try.
Like that game you put me on to. You know I got my grandma on that game.
Word,
My grandma plays that game every day.
the word scramble?
The word escape.
Word skate.
Every
Yeah, that's
day.
Word skate.
Yeah.
Every day.
That
Have you ever
game is
played
so
Happy
tough.
Cup?
Nah, I ain't
No,
never played that,
just
but
word
skate
escape and
was
words
tough.
Oh, my
Yeah.
shit is word link.
Oh, word link. Yeah, we got word skate.
So,
It's an Apple game.
yeah, do word
yeah,
skate.
nah. It should
No, it can't be
Nah, you gotta go to
because
iTunes. You
word
gotta
escape
go-
ain't because
yeah,
I have
you go
a
to App Store.
Samsung.
It's just word link.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I have Samsung.
So, on that, you know,
This has been
another episode.
of Lovers Quarrel. QUARREL.
Whoa.
Okay.
There's not an E at the end, TJ.
I didn't say it was.
He over here mouthing.
Nah, I was not. I was getting ready to say calculator. Can we get that?
AR at the end. I'm sorry, y'all.
You said convenience, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I'm
listen.
sorry. Time
We
out.
fight.
How do
We
you spell,
fight.
How you spell your middle name?
We fight.
You don't know how to spell your middle
That's
name?
my middle name.
That's
Don't
wild.
listen to-
That
don't
is
listen to her.
wild.
She's a fucking liar.
How you spell Nirvana?
We fight.
How you spell Nirvana?
Nirvana.
That's definitely. Look at your shirt. That's definitely
I'm not
not.
looking at my shirt, nigga. I know how to spell Nirvana. Listen.
Yeah,
we-
when the syllables are out there for you, it's
Can
not
you go?
like Nirvana.
Can you close out our show?
Yes, this has been another episode of Lovers
damn it.
Quarrel. As always, I'm your girl, Dani.
I'm your guy, TJ.
And you know us. We fuss,
We fight,
but we love. Bye.
Spell Nirvana. What shit is this? And I won today.
You did.
This fall, it's the return of the show that made it good to be bad. And if you can't tell by the cliche slow walk down the street, the drama gets dramier. Secrets are revealed.
This is disgusting. How could you do this to me?
Love meets lust.
And we know your cheating ass loves a party now, don't you?
Debts will be paid.
Did that sound like you had a choice? Get your ass in the car.
And friends become foes.
Man, I don't even know why your ass here. We supposed to be like family.
That's why I don't know why you keep sitting here thinking I ain't got your back.
You don't want to miss when bad web series...
Get y'all dumb asses off the phone.
Well then. Bad Web Series, Season 2, premiering December 18th, only on the Be Creative YouTube channel.